Good morning, everyone. I'd like to encourage everyone to come in from outside. Everyone out in the foyer and out in the porch, if they can come inside, we're ready to start. It's a beautiful Sabbath morning, and I'm happy to see so many of you here. And we thank you. We'll start our services at this time.
Good morning. Welcome to the 50th Alumni Weekend for Union Springs Academy. It's so good to have you here today. I'm John Schumacher-Hardy. I'm the acting president, and I guess this evening I become the president for the next 2 years, so it's good practice for me right now. Deneen, our current president, who was with us last year, was not able to get the time off. She works at Union College, and it's a very busy time of year. They're getting ready for graduation. So she couldn't come this year, but she wanted me to extend her warm welcome and hello to everybody. So hello from our president, Deneen. This morning, we have a few announcements here, so please bear with us. We're needing to make. As I mentioned, this is our 50th year having Alumni Weekend. Our school, of course, started in 1921, so it took them a little while to get around to making an alumni association, but once they had it, it took right off. It was Dan Bird who helped initiate the first Alumni Association organization back in 1963, 50 years ago. And today, for our worship service, we usually have the 50-year class present the main speaker, and we're very happy that that will be the case this year with Brother Greene, which I'll introduce a little more later. Couple of things. There's so many people I see around about, and a few people wanted me to make a little plug. Joanne Keith Glover's daughter wanted me to make sure that you knew her mother wanted to be here but couldn't be here. She's fighting pulmonary fibrosis like her brother Al Keith had. So we need to remember her in our prayers, but they wanted to extend a warm welcome and hello to you too. Believe it or not, last week I live in South Lancaster, Massachusetts. We just had AUC Alumni Weekend 2 weekends ago, and that was a joyful event. And I see Dr. Katie here, our acting president for AUC. He was there also. So we got some strong ties reforming between this camp and the South Lancaster camp, which makes us happy. But in South Lancaster, just this last week, guess who I ran into at the post office? Oscar Schmidt. Oscar Schmidt. He wanted me to make sure I said hello for him. Imagine that, 99 years old, and he's still going. Praise the Lord. He couldn't come this year, but he did want me to welcome you all and say hello from him too. A couple of other announcements. Last year we were working on the Constitution and bylaws. We're still not finalized in our voting, but we've got it to the point now we're going to be posting on our website. So we wanted to bring that to your attention as an alumni association. Take some time to look at that between now and July 15 when we're going to have a vote on the final vote for the Constitution and bylaws. Linda Aldrich's worked very hard, and others on preparation for that, and the officers. So take a little time to visit our website. And while I'm talking about the website, you should visit that too. It's fantastic. We've got a great new website that we put up this last year, and it is really, really awesome. Thank you for the folks working on that. We're updating and upgrading it. We're trying to get a lot of pictures and communication with members. So it's becoming a little hub for the alumni. So be sure to check out our website. We also have our Facebook site too. Go on Facebook and look for Union Springs Academy Alumni Organization. Make sure you're on that list too. A lot of great things happening there. Today and last night, I'm happy to report, for the first time ever, we are live stream feeding our Alumni Weekend program. So even our friends and our family that couldn't be here can hop on the internet and still participate from afar. So that's pretty neat, isn't it? Welcome to the 21st century, live stream feed. Today, after our services here, we're going to have a few things take place before the dinner. We have the class, honor class photos. And we want to do the Golden Years class here right after church. So as soon as the last amen is said, the golden folks, you with your halos, your golden halos, come on up to the front and we'll organize you for the 50-year plus photo. So everyone from the class of 63 and back up here. And then just the 63 class, and that'll be up here. And we'll have all that taken care of right after church. So I'll remind you at the end of church, you can count on that. We don't want to miss anybody that's here for those photos. Also, we're going to do the 40-year class here, class of 73. So after church, you folks come up too, get ready for your picture. Then we're going to have our dinner up at the administration building, the Clyde Newmeyer Memorial Administration Building, and we want everyone here to come and have a free dinner with us. We're here, we might as well fellowship together for some food, and then we have other activities in the afternoon. So come up afterwards to the dinner in the gymnasium. If you're an honor class, there's rooms that are designated for you especially, and I'll read that real quick. They're on the doors, but if you're wondering right now and planning ahead, the 10-year class is in the gym with the rest, but they have a special table reserved for them. The 20-year class is in the home economic room. 25-year class is in the Spanish room, number 2, room 2. 30-year class in the history room, number 6. And the 40-year class, 1973, in the gym, another area reserved for you. The 50-year class has the English room, which is number 5, room 5. And the 60-year class in the library. And all of the golden years up to the gym. Again, there's some special tables set up for you there. I believe everybody will go to the gym to get their food, though, and then they can come back with their food and their plates to their designated areas and visit a little more cozy setting with the honor class groups. So that'll be after church and after the first pictures. Later in the afternoon, we're going to be doing the other honor class pictures, and those pictures are not going to be here. Those other ones will be up in the chapel in the administration building. You're already going to be up in the chapel in the Newmeyer building, so we'll have it right there. The class of 88, for some reason you didn't get put on the bulletin here, but you folks are lined up for 2:15. 2:15 at the chapel, which used to be the band room when we were here. So please make sure you get there for your class, honor class picture. And then the class of 83 at 2:30, same place. Class of 93, 2:45. And the class of 03, not 02, 03, the 10-year class, 3 p.m., same place. Thanks. Now, when we eat dinner this year, one other change is happening. On each table, you'll see a little donation jar. If you feel so inclined and so moved, the Union Springs Academy would be ever so grateful for a contribution to help defray the expenses for the dinner. That's a voluntary thing, but I wanted to at least let you know that's what those jars on the table were for. So you may want to make a donation for that. This evening, after the programs in the afternoon, I want to encourage everybody to please attend the business meeting that's lined up at 8:15, and that'll be in the cafeteria, basement of the women's dorm. And then after the business meeting, of course, we have the traditional basketball game up in the gym. And we're doing something a little different this year. We thought it would be a nice idea to have another option for people that may not be as interested in the basketball game. So we're having like a Sunday social, SANDAE, yummy ice cream. And that'll be down in the cafeteria also. So even if you're in the gym, you might want to scoot down by through and grab some ice cream and then head on back up. So we're having a very relaxed atmosphere there for people to visit and sit and to enjoy their company and some ice cream. So don't miss that. I think I've hit all the highlights here that I needed to on that, but I do want to take some time to introduce you to the new principal of Union Springs Academy. We are happy to introduce this year the brand new principal who's having his first year as principal here, and that would be the fellow right here behind me. Please come right up forward. We're going to give a warm welcome. Wayne Edwards had been teaching here, and now he's transitioned into the role as the principal. And I'd like to give you a few moments to talk to the alumni. Thank you.
Acting Alumni President John Schumacher-Hardy, Class of 63, members of the Board of Trustees, alumni, special guests, faculty, students, friends, well-wishers, happy Sabbath. It gives me great privilege and a pleasure to stand before you this morning to welcome you to this, our 50th Alumni Weekend. Welcome to Central New York. Welcome back to the Finger Lakes region. Welcome to this beautiful springtime weather. But most of all, welcome home. Alumni, I thank you for your continued interest and support for your alma mater. Many of you have sacrificed in many ways to ensure that the mission of the Academy remains alive, and I thank you. I want to thank President Mrs. Castor Brathwaite and her staff who have kept us on our toes to ensure that Union Springs Academy and the Alumni Association move forward as one. I also would like to recognize the work done by our Development Director, Mrs. Andrea Starr-Tagalog, who has ensured that the channel of communication is always open. As the principal of this noble institution, it is my vision to see Union Springs Academy become the #1 academy in the North American Division. #1 in academics. #1 in physical appearance, including our roads. #1 in hydroponics. But more so, #1 in leading our students to Jesus. How can this be accomplished? Through the help of our invaluable alumni. Our duty here at Union Springs Academy is to foster, to promote, and facilitate the saving knowledge of Jesus. The salvation of our youth is of paramount importance. And so I appeal to you to invest in our future. Every child in our Adventist church needs to receive an Adventist Christian education. I've heard it said over and over that God, if it is your will, it is your bill. If it is your choice, it is your invoice. And so, alumni, I implore you to take the advice of Paul in Colossians 3, verse 23, when he says, whatsoever you do, do it enthusiastically, as something done for the Lord and not unto men. Finally, the songwriter penned, oh, may all who come behind us find us faithful. May the fire of our devotion light our way. May the footprints that we leave them to believe, and the lives we live inspire them to obey. Oh, may all who come behind us find us faithful. Welcome again, and may God richly bless you. Thank you.
One last little plug. If you are an alumnus, please make sure you register. We really depend on our database of contact information to get the message out for updates and events like Alumni Weekend. So it's very imperative that we have your name and address and email and phone number and all that information. So check in and register and make sure that we have your updated information, please. And look through there and see if there's some other friends or family that are in our alumni group that don't have that contact information. You could share that with us, because we really don't want anyone to feel left out. We've got a big family and we love everybody. We want to make sure that everybody's included. So take some time to register and to look through the list, to update it. At this time, Brother Schermerhorn is going to share some thoughts with us on military alumni.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and salute the flag as Dr. Beth Burghardt sings our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, came proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of free and the home of the brave?
Thank you. That was beautiful. Okay. I'm going to invite each one of our alumni who have served in the military, and we're going to do it on a collective basis this year. So if you served in the Army, in the Marines, in the Air Force, and that would include the Army Air Force from World War II, or the Coast Guard, I'd like to invite you to stand at this time. I know there's more than me. Okay. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts for protecting our freedom. We have one member, one alumni, who is currently serving in the Army, Corey Fletcher, graduated just last year, and he is in the Army in the DMZ in Korea, and he is watching us right now on our new streaming computer system. Adam Boyd just told me he got an email from him, and he is watching us. So thank you, Corey, and have a wonderful day. I want to invite each one of our military veterans to sign up in our military registry. It's on the left end of the registration table out here, and it's quite critical that we get all your names. I'd like the year you graduated, the years you served, and the branch of service. And I'm preparing a display for the Union Springs Frontenac Museum down in the village. And I'm planning to have a list of all the alumni that have served, that are veterans. I am guessing it's probably going to exceed 100. And featured in that display will be our two alumni from the class, one from the class of 64 and one from 65, and that's Mike Peters and Forrest Ward, who were killed in action in Vietnam, and each of them was awarded the Silver Star. And so it's very important that each of us register so that we can have these names. And if you know somebody who is an alumnus and isn't here, please register for them, if you could. Thank you, and God bless the USA, and God bless Union Springs Academy.
Before we start our roll call, Terry Schermerhorn asked me to announce to you about his brother Bud. If you remember, if you were here last year, we were told that he had fallen. He was on a mission project and he broke so many bones and he almost died. And we had special prayer for him here, and he's doing fine. And he's made an excellent recovery, and he says thank you for all your prayers.
Just a couple of other quick announcements. I don't see him in here at the moment, but when you see him, if you could just show him your appreciation. Ed Reynolds has been taking pictures for alumni weekends, school functions, since I can remember. I think he was even doing it in 1978 when I was in the class. But he's wanting to retire that position. This year, we have Dave Froelich, who's a 2012 graduate, and Michaela Lawton, who's helping Dave. They're taking pictures for this weekend. We want to thank you for stepping up to the role. And Ed, we want to really thank you, as we appreciate all that you've done for us. Can we give Ed a round? We aren't 100% sure, because we haven't verified it yet, if Dave and Michaela are going to continue to take pictures, but I'm proud of them because Michaela is going to be an alumni first time this year. She's graduating, and so we haven't talked to them, but if you know of anyone who's interested in helping to take over Ed's role, please come up to one of us and talk to us, and if Dave wants to keep it, we're looking for that to be filled. Anyway, so just think about it. Also, I want to mention that if you have any suggestions, I know there's a lot of errors in the book, and I want to apologize especially to Bob Rosa. I had some misinformation, and I had him marked as deceased in the program. He's not. He's here live in person. And we're so glad you came back, Bob. So, if you don't see Terry or I with any corrections found in the bulletin or on your memorial necrology list, I have a lot more added to it, and as I went over it, I realized some had already been read, so if you have any kind of corrections, come and see us. If you don't see us, I have a blue box, I have a box that's blue and yellow, and I have a yellow box. One will be out in the foyer, one will be up in the chapel in the ad building, and the third one I'm going to try to find someplace in the gymnasium where the lunch is. So if you have any suggestions, there'll be cards and pencils near there that you can fill and put things in. Also, we have a new Facebook. I took over initially the old Facebook. I don't remember the name of it. It's been so long since I've been in there, and I apologize that no one's responded to you. And then we had started another one. But the new actual Facebook is Union Springs Academy Alumni. Please talk to your classmates and have them join that. And then also pick up a card or a business card. And it has the Academy website on there as well as the alumni website on there. And after this weekend, the postcards are going to cost you 50 cents, so it's your last chance to get a free one, folks. At this time, as we call off your class year, if you could just stand, we'd appreciate it. At this time, we want to acknowledge the class of 2012.
2011.
Way back there. 2010.
2009.
2008.
2007.
2006.
2005. They're busy.
2004.
2002.
2001.
2000.
1999.
1998.
1997.
1996.
1995.
1994.
1992.
1991.
1990.
1979.
We're skip. Those are the 1980s. We haven't forgotten you. 1978.
1977.
1976.
1975.
1974.
1972. And
Becky Hafner passed away this last year. 1971.
1970.
1969.
1968.
1967.
1966.
1965.
1964.
1962.
1961.
1959. That was a good year.
1958. 1957.
Oh, if you read those. 1956. From the 1956 class, we lost David Chisholm.
1955.
1954.
We lost David Olszewski and Yvonne Harrington Palatessa. 1952.
From this class, we lost Ruth Eggleston Jensen.
1951.
And we lost James Robert.
1950.
1949.
1948.
1947.
We lost Barbara Morris Jacobson. 1946.
We lost Francis Dugan Davis, January 2nd, 2013, and Donald Oliver, March of 2011. 1945.
We lost Norman Bunker in November of 11, Claire Call Jobs in 2011, Gordon Edgerton, May 20 of 2012, Lorraine Harding Badurka, 2011, Robert Robinson, 10/12/11.
$1944. We lost Naomi Wagner Nord, November 21, 2012. George Chester Mills, May 20th, 2012. Elvira Yeoman Still, February 2nd, 2012. Paul Steele, December 12th, 2011.
1942.
1942, we lost Margaret Bishop Speary, June of 2011. 1941. 1940. We can do it together.
1939.
We lost Pearl Shannon Everhart just this last little while, 2013. 1938.
1937. We have two class members here from 37. Raise your hand. One of them is my mother.
1936.
1935.
1934. Now we'll do our honor years. The first honor year will be the 10-year, 2003. Yay!
Look over here. 20-year is 1993.
Our 25-year is 1988. Oh, yeah!
Our 30-year is 1983.
Our decade for the years 1981 to 1989, can you all stand, please? Including honor years? I know there's a lot of you.
'40-year, 1973.
And our 1950 year, 1963, for our 50th anniversary, 1963. We did lose Bonnie Everett Portello.
60-year class, 1953.
From this year, we lost Anthony Feldo, June of 2012, and Richard Hartman in 2011. Our 70-year class, 1943. From this class, we lost Dorothea Ellen Benedict Mayo, 2009.
75-year class, 1948.
From our 80-year class of 1933, we lost Nicholas Wright, Eleanor Nicholas Wright, April of 2005. At this time, I'd like to recognize any former or current faculty of USA. If you could rise, please. Any faculty. At this time, we'd like to thank you for all the sacrifices and service that you've given Union Springs Academy. And from our faculty, we lost Elder Robert Burroughs in April of 2011. Also deceased from 1927 and 1982 is Ruth Rice Chisholm and David Chisholm. You may wonder why we were reading some deaths that are passed away so long ago, like 1982. But as we're updating and people come to us and let us know of notifications, some deaths we don't find out about them until years later, but we still would like to remember them. Again, I'd just like to encourage you that if you notice any differences or any changes, please let us know. We'd like to keep you in the loop. And I am just so happy and so proud that we're doing live stream. That's so great. There are other times, too, that you can meet with your classmates. We just had some meet down in Tennessee when they went down to the college, their area. And we would like to have more of those. So if you're interested in meeting, maybe you're coming from Florida or someone far away, but like to meet with your classmates and you can't make it out here, let's talk about meeting in other places. That would be great.
Also, we need to add that if you want to look at this program or any of the programs later on, they will be downloaded to YouTube.
Mortal flesh ye silence, and with fear and trembling stand. Ponder nothing earthly minded, for with blessing in his hand, Christ our God to earth descended, our full homage to demand. King of kings, yet born of Mary, as of old on earth he stood. Lord of lords in human vesture, in the body and the blood, we will give to all the faithful his own self for heavenly food. Ring on, ring the host of heaven spreads its vanguard on the way. As the light of light descended from the realms of endless day, that the power of hell may vanish as the darkness clears away. At his feet the six-winged cherub, cherubim with sleepless eyes, veil their faces to the presence, as with ceaseless voice they cry, Hallelujah, 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 praise the Lord Most High.
Our Father in heaven, we thank you for helping us to gather here safely together and for the beautiful day. We thank you for life and the opportunities it provides us to learn and grow and love. We ask that you open our hearts this day to love and understanding. Amen.
Please stand for our opening hymn. seated.
When we did our honor roll call, we had something that was donated to us, and we forgot to tell you about it and present it.
And does this look familiar to you, class of 1963? My brother is donating his blazer to the memorabilia.
If perchance that you have any memorabilia that you would like to donate and have shown out in the foyer like those up on the walls, and we thank again Ed and his wife for putting those up, please contact us.
Good morning. As we prepare to return our tithe and offerings with grateful hearts this morning, I'd like us to take a moment to think about how we've been blessed in this past week. Our loose offering today will be going to the local church budget, and it's a delight for me to have the opportunity to take just a minute to share with you how much our local church family embraces the students of Union Springs Academy, supports them in every way that they can, and prepares them to help go out into our wider community of the world as missionaries for the gospel. You've heard it mentioned that we are live streaming, and I'd like to also point out that whole project is been an endeavor of the Union Springs Seventh-day Adventist Church, and I thank the people that have worked hard to make that happen so that our alumni who are not with us today can enjoy our services this weekend, and we can all continue to watch them again and again on YouTube later. In your pews and in your programs, there are specially marked envelopes. I'm going to let John Cardinell come up and talk to you. Okay, he's not coming up. He's going to wander. He's going to talk to you for a moment about how you can support the Academy. So, John, the floor is yours.
Good morning, everyone. John Cardinell, class of 1978. I also work with the Alumni Association as communications person. I guess I have the gift of gab. And so, since I'm not really afraid of speaking in front of everybody, they kind of commandeer me to do this. What I want to talk about before we actually take up the offerings and everything is I want to talk about what the school means to a lot of people and what you can do to actually promote Union Springs Academy and what you can do to be a part of it. But it's going to take two words. It's going to take love and it's going to take commitment. Those are two words that people try to find their entire lives, and sometimes you find it and sometimes you don't. But it pertains right here to your alma mater. So what I'm going to ask you first is if Union Springs has been a positive influence on you, if you've had friends that you've gained for life through Union Springs Academy, if it has all affected your life all the way from back, I can't believe we're talking in the 30s, but if it's affected you your entire life, just raise your hand if it's been a positive influence. Come on, where are those hands? Come on. Okay, good. So now I'm going to ask you the question that I ask myself every time I come on the campus. Really? Do you really love Union Springs Academy? I ask myself that every time I come on here because I'm just like you. I come on for just a couple days or maybe in and out, and sometimes I do things for Union Springs Academy, sometimes I don't. I sometimes forget. I sometimes forget where my roots came from. So I just want you to ponder that. Now, I'm not a preacher and I'm not a teacher. I'm just a guy, or I guess I can't say girl, but I'm just a guy like the rest of half of you. So I'm going to talk to you a little about in the beginning. And remember, don't throw your Bibles at me or anything, because I'm just not a preacher. But in the beginning it said that God created the heavens and the earth and the birds and the bees and the trees and all the stars and the moons and everything. He did that for us. But why did he do it? It wasn't because he was bored out in the universe and just didn't have anything to do. But he did it out of love. Then he created man. And I think somewhere in there he said, well, man's kind of lonely, so we're going to make a woman. And he did that out of love. So I'll say that. You're going to be safe. Okay, so he showed his love to us by doing all these things. And I like keeping things in very simplistic terms like that. I don't like to dive into everything and make it really complicated. But then God went a step further. Thousands of years down the road, he actually said, hey, I've got to do something more for mankind. What am I going to do? He sent his son Jesus. He sent him down to the earth, could experience life. He could teach us things, and hopefully we would listen to those teachings. But that showed his commitment. So now from God we have both love and we have commitment. Okay, so now we're going to spin it a few thousand years ahead, and we're going to talk about the faculty and students here at Union Springs Academy. And this one took me by shock for the faculty. I've actually spoken with probably, I don't know, maybe 4 of the faculty members. And the first faculty member that I spoke to, they said something that was kind of crazy to me. They said, we love these students. And I said, well, that's nice. Then I met up with another faculty member off campus, and we got talking about something, and they said, we love these students.